Hello everyone, Palumbo here. Long time no here. Regards making videos, being a busy bee. Before we start the video, you're innocent until proven guilty. Video we're doing today, with regards to the case of Madeleine McCann, is with regards to the recent article in the papers about the Metropolitan Police, the British Police, thinking about closing the case of Madeleine McCann and their ongoing investigation in the year 2022. Now, when I was a wee lad a long time ago, I made the prediction that in 2022 the British investigation into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann would close. And that's apparently what's happening, folks. Operation Grange is coming to an end, supposedly, in 2022. Now, the reason I gave all those years ago, or whenever it was, I said it had come to an end in 2022, was because under Portuguese law, you only have 15 years to prosecute the person or persons who were involved in the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, folks. This occurs from the day or night when Madeleine disappeared. So she disappeared on the 3rd of May 2007. So from that date, under Portuguese law, you then have 15 years, as I understand it, to find the person or persons who were involved in Madeleine's disappearance. You have 15 years to prosecute them. Once that 15 years is over, under Portuguese law, you cannot prosecute that person who may have been involved, folks. Now, if you do not believe me, then Mr. Alves, as I am showing you here, who is the McCann's lawyer, has said the following. Mr. Alves, the McCann's lawyer, has warned that time is running out with regards to a prosecution, folks, or words to that effect. He then told ITV that we have a 15-year time barrier, even to manslaughter, to homicide, to certain sexual offences, and even to the most serious kind of kidnapping. So that is the McCann's lawyer telling ITV that under Portuguese law, you only have 15 years to find the person or persons responsible for Madeleine's disappearance, folks. This is why I made the prediction, whenever it was I made the video, it was way before this, that in 2022, the Metropolitan Police's investigation with regards to the case of Madeleine McCann would come to a close. Because in 2022, it's 15 years since the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. She went missing in 2007. You add 15 years onto 2007, and it's 2022. And hey presto, you have the Metropolitan Police now saying they are going to close the investigation, Operation Grange. This is what I've been saying all along, folks. Now, the police, folks, they have lawyers themselves. So, back when this case was first investigated with regards to Operation Grange, it's been 11 years since that started. When they took up the case, they knew, the Metropolitan Police's lawyers, that you only had a time period of 15 years to prosecute someone for the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Now, I've made the bold claim that that's why they prolonged the case, asking for money year on year, folks. Because they wanted to prolong the case of Madeleine McCann to make sure that those 15 years elapsed. To run down the time, if you want for a better word, they claimed money off the government with regards the case of Madeleine McCann every year for those 11 years. They did so on the premise that they were going to investigate what happened to Madeleine and to try and find out who committed the crime or whatever happened to her. But I believe, folks, that they did no such thing. They were investigating no one for those 11 years. What they were doing was they were running down the clock. So the time period of 15 years overall would eventually elapse, knowing full well that those responsible would then not be prosecuted with regards to the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. That's what I believe is happening, folks. If you believe the Metropolitan Police were investigating people for the disappearance of Madeleine McCann, then that's what they would have done, folks, because they are elite special officers. They are detectives, and that's their field. They know more about crime than I ever will. They know how to work things out better than me. Now, if you think the Metropolitan Police were investigating crimes for 11 years and asking the government for 11 years for money every year for 11 years, then you must be naive. Because they were doing no such thing, folks. All they were doing, and like I said, they have lawyers with regards to the police force. They were running down the 15-year time period for prosecution, folks, knowing full well that once that time period is gone, no one will be prosecuted. Now, the reason why they did this is your guess is as good as mine, folks. All I can say is I have suspicions why they did it. Now, I do not want to get into trouble, but I would hazard a guess that the Metropolitan Police, 'Police, 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 ' Like I said, they are detectives who investigate crimes day in, day out, folks. Unless they haven't read the PJ files or they take no notice of them, then those detectives would know something doesn't add up. But anyway, that's what I was saying all those years ago, or whenever it was I posted the video out. It's long gone. I predicted in 2022 that Operation Grange will be no more. Why? Because Portuguese statute of limitation period of 15 years for prosecution ends in 2022. 2007, Madeleine went missing. 15 years on top of 2007 is 2022. Told you. Makes you think.